Hi, Lorraine here. Again, apologies for that little glitch in the disconnection of the internet. But I am here to hopefully make a difference in your day in amongst all of what seems to be a storm that we're going through with this COVID-19. Let's prepare our minds and our bodies for a flow. We're just going to keep it simple. If you're new to yoga, just listen to my cues, you'll be fine. And if you're a seasoned yogi, you just add your spice. And we will just all embrace movement and make ourselves, our mind and our bodies feel good. So let's find our way to the back of our mat in a child pose. So with your knees together or with your knees separated, just hinge forward and forward fold. And extend those arms long, placing the forehead on the floor, or maybe crossing your arms with your head on top of your forearms or on top of your hands. However you can find a way to settle down into your child pose. Knowing that this child pose is your home base, it's your place that you come back to anytime throughout your practice, reconnect, find that breath, just take a break, whatever. This is your home base. Speaking of breath, let's come to an awareness of our breath. Since yoga is breath and movement together, close down your mouth and just really feel that inhale through your nose as that breath goes down the back of your nasal cavity, down the back of your throat. Feeling, imagining your lungs expand and your ribs expanding. That nice, heated, energizing breath. And then on the exhale, making that exhale longer and stronger and deeper as we warm up our body. Of course, breath and movement is our practice, and that's all we're doing is we're just practicing together. We're just listening to our body. We're not forcing anything, and we are just embracing our availability, our capability, and our ability to just move. An intention of gratitude is so fitting in these days. So find gratitude in your heart, in your soul, and in your mind for movement, for you being here today, and all of us sharing our practice. Let's rise up to a tabletop. So your shoulders and your wrists are stacked on top of each other. Your knees and hips are stacked on top of each other. As we add spinal movement, with an inhale, drop the belly, tilt the tailbone to thighs and gaze up. There's your cow. On an exhale, tuck the hips under, round the shoulders way up. Pull the belly button into the spine and gaze through your legs. There's your cat. Inhale to the cow. Exhale to the cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then find your way back to a nice flat tabletop for some spinal rotation. Inhale that right arm all the way up to the sky. Take your gaze up. And then on the exhale, thread the right arm through. Lower the shoulder, the side of the head to the floor. Spinal twisting. Inhale back up to the sky. Lengthen and grow. Exhale, thread through. Inhale as you grow. Exhale as you thread through. Inhale, grow. Exhale, thread through. One more time. Inhale, grow. And then exhale back to a nice tabletop. Inhale, other side. Lengthen. Exhale, thread through. Lowering that shoulder, that side of the head through. Inhale, lengthen. Feeling that wonderful spinal twist. Exhale, thread through. Inhale, grow. Our first little sort of a bind in our belly, squeezing everything as we twist. Inhale, grow. Exhale, thread through. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale back to a nice flat tabletop, staying right here. Let's establish a strong foundation with our hands. Starfish hands on your mat. Suction cup your palms of your hands into the floor. And there's our strong foundation, making sure we don't sink into our shoulders, but we're activating rotate whatever degree that you have available and just give that forearm a nice little stretch. There we go. And then come on to the front. And then come rise up just for a moment and shake your wrist out. And again, give those shoulders a nice little roll. And maybe a nice little front and back movement. There we go. Come on back to the tabletop. Tuck your toes under in the back and rise up to a downward facing dog. Oh my goodness. You've got those starfish hands. You're pressing your heart and shoulders towards those knees. You can, excuse me, bend your knees. Take your gaze through your legs. So recognize where you are right now in your downward facing dog. Pressing your chest and shoulder towards your heart. And then as we continue, let's walk out our dogs. As we continue, see how that range of motion increases with that opening of the heart and the shoulders. As we always use our downward facing dog as a huge transitional posture. So take a gaze at your hands and walk your feet to the back of your hands. And here it's your first forward fold. Your hamstrings might feel a little tight. Bend those knees and just release those hips, relax, and just nice forward fold. Wherever you are in your forward fold. Again, bend the knees, just give yourself as much room as you can to just fold. Let the back of your neck hang heavy. And then like a rag doll, arms are reaching to the floor, one little vertebrae at a time, rising up to a standing posture. Circle the arms all the way out to the side. Do a big inhale. Top of the mountain, grow tall. On the exhale, open the arms, press your chest forward. Swan dive, forward fold, gaze through your legs. Ragdoll, rise up, let those arms just hang heavy. As you're inhaling, you're opening up those arms. There's that big giant lengthening inhale. Grab a hold of your right wrist at the top of this mountain. And exhale, reach over to your left. Give that right wrist sort of like a little tug and a nice side bend stretch. Inhale back to the top of that mountain. Grab that left wrist. And exhale over. Inhale, grow. Exhale, over we go. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, over. Inhale, lengthen and grow. And then circle the arms behind you. Clasp your fingers. Press down past your tailbone. Open up the heart. Oh, that should feel wonderful on your shoulders. And then bend your knees. Put your chest on top of your thighs and forward fold like you're sitting in a chair. And those shoulders are really getting a nice, extra deep little stretch. No matter where you are with your arms, just listen to your body. Don't force anything. And then wherever you are, lower your arms down. Reach for the floor. And then inhale this time, only lift halfway up. Hands on the shins, below the knee. Tailbone tilting to the back of the room. Crown of the head reaching forward, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now bend your knees and reverse that swan dive. So we circle the arms behind us and we do a big giant body wave to the top of the mountain. A lengthening inhale. Exhale, open those arms, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands on the floor and walk your feet to the back of your mat. Now, introducing our plank, options are always to go to your knees. Just a little bit of a pelvic tilt. And let's warm up those shoulders. Let's warm up the core. Starfish fingers, little movements, forwards and backwards. So the shoulders are hinging over the fingertips and back. Whether you're on your knees, just a little tiny movement, just a little movement. And then hold your shoulders over your fingers. Rotate those elbows towards your fingers so that you can do a low push-up towards the floor, all the way down to your chest and your belly, and then slide forwards, open up the heart, upward facing dog. Exhale down to a cobra. Inhale to the upward facing dog. Exhale down to a dog. Exhale down to cobra. Inhale, upward facing dog, just kind of warming ourselves up for our chaturangas. Now tuck one foot under in the back and rise up to a downward facing dog. Again, remembering to press the heart, the shoulders, the chest towards those knees. Let's inhale that right leg to the sky. Bend your knee and just give the hip a nice little circle. A nice little movement, go in the other direction. And then inhale right back up to the sky. And then bring those big toes together. Other side. Inhale the other leg. Bend the knee and then circle your hip. Both directions. And then inhale right back up to the sky. Now bring the big toes together. There's our downward facing dog. Take a gaze at those hands. Hinge forward. There's your plank or your tabletop as we add our chaturanga. So low push up all the way down to the chest and belly. Slide forwards, open up the heart. There's your chaturanga. Tuck one foot. Up we go to downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg to the sky. Exhale, bend your knee and just open up your hip. So take your gaze on the inside of your right arm. Make sure the gaze isn't on the outside. So we're just getting a nice little hip opener and our gaze is through the right arm on the inside. Now rotate, square your hips out. Hinge forward to bring your knee into your nose. That opposite knee can absolutely be on the floor. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, knee comes to right elbow and hold. Inhale to the sky. Exhale to the left elbow and hold. Inhale to the sky. And then exhale, bring those big toes together. There's your down dog. Take a gaze at those hands. Come on over to the plank or tabletop. Low push up. Chest, belly. Open up the heart. Chaturanga. Tuck one foot up. We go to downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale that left leg. Bend your knee. Open up the hip. Looking on the inside of that left arm. Remember, we want to make sure we're not looking on the outside. On the inside. Rotate, square your hips out, hinge forward, knee comes into the nose. Activate that core, pull the right and left side together. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, knee comes to left elbow. That opposite knee can be on the floor for sure. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, knee to right elbow and hold. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, bring those big toes together. And then yogis, add your chaturanga, or maybe you skip it. Doesn't matter, we're all going to meet up in a downward facing dog. There we go. Let's inhale that right leg to the sky, and then exhale, bend your knee, bring your knee to your nose, take a gaze at your hands, and take that foot right in the middle of your hands. Now yogis, even if you don't feel like that foot can get there, just lift it up and place it in the middle of your hands, dropping the back heel to the side as we rise up into warrior one. Nice lengthening warrior. Find stability in this front knee, lengthening. And then exhale, let's open up to warrior two. Right and left arm become one long arm. Keeping that gaze right in front of you and finding stability in this front knee. Reach forward, palm to the sky. Inhale to reverse warrior. Back arm either goes down the back of your leg or it wraps around your back. And then exhale, side angle. Take that hand to your knee, to your calf, or maybe all the way down to your ankle. So our arms are at 6 and 12 o'clock. Rise up, reach forward through warrior two, into reverse, and then cartwheel your arms, one hand on either side of your foot. Take the front foot to the back, add that chaturanga, or skip it all together. We're all meeting back up in that downward facing dog. Inhale the other leg. Exhale, bend the knee, step through, drop the back heel as you rise up to warrior one, lengthening. Again, really be aware of the stability of that front knee, that it doesn't hinge. Exhale, open to warrior two. Inhale through warrior two, back to reverse. And then exhale, cartwheel. One hand on either side of your foot. Front foot to the back. Adding the chaturanga or skipping it all together. Everybody meets up in a downward facing dog. All right. Let's inhale and rise up on the balls of those toes. Bend your knees. Take a gaze at your hands. Step, walk, float, or jump to the back of your hands. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Now bend your knees a lot like you're sitting in a chair and reach the arms in front of you. Relax your shoulders down. Squeeze the knees and the hips together. Reaching those palms to the sky. Let's take our right hand behind us and then take that gaze back. Inhale to your chair. Exhale, other side. Take the gaze to the back. Inhale to chair. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, other side. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Rising up on the balls of your toes, saying hello to your first balance. Feel those wiggles. Open up those toes, let those toes find that strong foundation in the floor to help with your balance. Gazing at something right in front of you. And then let's rise up, squeezing everything. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Find a balance. Heels to the floor, open up those arms. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, step, walk, float, or jump to the back of your mat. And again, add that chaturanga or skip it all together. It's all good. Right there. All right. Let's inhale that right leg. Exhale, bend your knee. Step that right foot on the inside of the right hand. Crescent pose, keeping the back heel lifted high. Big lengthening inhale. Exhale, open up the arms and then add your range of a lunge. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale, grow. Exhale. Nice stability in this front knee. Inhale, grow. Exhale, hands to heart center and humble warrior as you bow forwards. Making sure that you're not leaning into your hip. And then let's add a little twist. Take that opposite elbow across the knee. Stacking your elbows on top of each other. Maybe taking your gaze up to the sky. And then an option would be to extend your arms as well. So that opposite arm would be reaching to the floor. Just a nice little twist. Now drop the back heel, cartwheel the arms up into warrior two. And then let's open up to a star. So a star, just like this. Here's your inhale, and on the exhale, bring your hands to heart center and lunge to the back of your mat. However, your depth is on your lunge. It can be all the way to the floor, just a slight little bend. Now lunge over to the front of your mat, and then opposite hand to the floor, revolve, pivot on that back foot. Gaze down at your foot, one hand on either side, take that front leg up to the sky, and then add your chaturanga. You can do a chaturanga from a three-legged dog, from a down dog, or just skip it all together. Here we are. Spread those fingers wide. Hopefully your downward facing dogs are having much more space with the heart and the chest pressing towards the knees. Inhale the left leg. Bend the knees, step through. Take that left foot on the inside of the left hand, rising up to crescent. Again, making sure we're not losing stability in this front knee. Lengthen and grow. Exhale, add your lunge, your variation, your depth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, stay right here. Exhale, hands to heart center. humble warrior as you bow forwards. Let's add a rotation. Take that opposite elbow across that knee. Take the gaze up to the sky. Maybe opening up those arms. You might be feeling some wiggles, that's okay. And if we wiggle and we kind of tip over, we just get right back up. Drop the back heel, cartwheel the arms up into warrior two. And then inhale, open up to that star on the other side. So a big giant star. And then we're lunging to the back of our mat, however depth is available for you. Then lunge to the front of the mat, opposite arm to the floor, pivot on the back foot, revolve. Take that gaze down to your foot, one hand's on either side. Take that leg up to the sky. You add your chaturanga or you skip it all together. We're all going to meet back up in the downward facing dog. And then let's stay here in this down dog just for a moment. Come back to the awareness of the breath. Lots of movement going on. We need that energy with the breath. We'll take that same flow and we'll just add on a little bit. Let's inhale that right leg to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees, step through, rise up to crescent. Big inhale. Exhale, your lunge. Inhale, grow. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, grow. Exhale, hands to heart center. Humble warrior as you bow forwards. Again, making sure you're not sinking into that hip or leaning on top of that front thigh. Opposite arm crosses over the knee. Shoulders stacked. Gaze to the sky. Maybe opening those arms. Drop the back heel, cartwheel the arms up into warrior two. And then open up to that star. Big inhale. Exhale, lunge to the back of your mat. Lunging over to the front of your mat, opposite hand to the floor. Twisting, rotating, pivoting on that back foot. Adding a little revolve. Gaze down at your foot. Take that front leg up to the sky. Now let's keep that front leg up to the sky. Bend your knee. Now trust me, even if you're a new yogi, take your gaze on the inside of your opposite arm. And then lift that same arm of the leg that's up in the air and flip your dog. So the floor's not going anywhere. When you flip, that foot's going to land on the floor, for sure. Bend the knees and hips, rotate right back up to a three-legged dog. And then you know your choices. You add that chaturanga or you skip it. Up we go to a downward facing dog, other side. Inhale that left leg. Exhale, bend the knees, step through to crescent. Back heel stays lifted as you rise up like you're on a railroad track. Big lengthening inhale. Exhale to your lunge. Inhale, grow. Exhale. Inhale, grow. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Humble warrior as you bow forwards. Add that rotation, opposite elbow. Gaze up to the sky. Opening up those arms is an option. Drop the back heel, cartwheel up into warrior two. And then inhale, open up to that star, a big giant star. And then exhale, your lunge to the back of your mat. Over to the front, opposite arm reaches for the floor, revolve, rotate, pivot on that back foot. And then gaze down at your foot, take that front leg up to the sky, staying in a three-legged dog. Bend that knee, look on the inside of that opposite arm, not the outside. And lift the same arm as the leg that's in the sky, and we flip our dog. Bend the knees and hips back up, we go to a three-legged dog. And then your variation of your chaturanga, or we know, we can skip it. Let's hold an upward facing dog at the bottom. And then tuck up to a downward facing dog. So we're all meeting in a downward facing dog. Let's take our gaze in front of us. Step, walk, float, or jump to the back of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Now, heel toe your feet as wide as your mat. How about that? Keep your knees soft. And then just kind of release, relax, and forward fold. Let the back of the neck hang heavy. Right here. Maybe even some movement in the head. Some yeses, some nos, and just really finding yourself hinging, folding, and bending, and releasing. So let's add some twist. Take the left hand over to the right ankle, and then on the inhale, take that right arm up to the sky. There's your twist. Exhale through the middle, over to the other side. Right hand on the left ankle, and there's your twist. Exhale through the middle, and then just continue that nice little spinal twisting of the spine, squeezing of everything inside of your belly, waking up all the digestive system, and your body is just saying thank you. It really likes that. Let's go one more time each direction. Find your way back to the center, and then heel toe those feet back together. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that big giant body wave to the top of the mountain, growing really tall, lengthen. And then exhale, hands to heart, center. Let's introduce some balance, yogis, with tree pose. So right foot, let's rotate that right foot and that right knee out, trying our best to keep our hips square, and then placing that foot, keeping it on the floor, lengthening the spine, embracing the abdominal wall, keeping the foot on the floor, maybe putting it on the ankle, the calf, or maybe all the way up on the inside of the thigh. Making sure you're not leaning into that opposite hip, but everything is square and long. Finding a focus right in front of you. Your toes might be wiggling, that's good. Just let your body find its balance. On an inhale, let's open up those branches of this tree pose. Exhale, cartwheel the arms around. Reach for your knee, open up your heart, and find this balance. Release the opposite arm, again, lengthening that spine, making sure you're not hinging into that opposite hip. And then, of course, there's the option to grab a toe here. Let's rotate to the side. Again, also grabbing a toe. And then bend that knee, release, come on back to the center. Bring your knees to meet each other. Palms go towards the floor, and then hinge forwards into your airplane. However depth you like to. Hinge forwards. Seasoned yogis, maybe a handstand here. Could be a little bit of a kick up to handstands. Wherever you are. Inhale, top of the mountain. Exhale, open those arms, swan dive. Forward fold, gaze through your legs. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold, big giant body wave, top of the mountain, grow tall. Lengthen and grow. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tree pose on the other side. Rotate that knee, that ankle, that foot, keeping the hips square, and find your variation wherever you may be in your tree pose. Just really being aware that you're not hinging into that hip, but lengthen the spine. center. Bend your knees, bring those knees to meet each other, palms to the floor, and then hinge forward into your variation of your airplane. Maybe a handstand kick. Inhale, top of the mountain. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, step well float, or jump to the back of the mat and hold your plank. Just stay right here. So if you're on a tabletop, stay right there. And then wherever you are, drop your left knee and extend the right leg to the back. On the inhale, lift the left arm and the right leg. So there's your big extension right there. And then exhale, bring the elbow knee towards each other. Inhale, lengthen and grow. Exhale, come together. Inhale, go and stay here. Option to bend the back knee, reach back for your foot, or if you have a prop, a belt or something that you may be using, a towel, open up the hip, open up the heart. Gently bend the knee and the hip, release and extend long, come on back to the tabletop. And then let's just do a couple of cat-cows here, just an inhale, and an exhale. Inhale, exhale, and then find your way to a flat tabletop. Other side, extend that left leg and that right arm. On the inhale, you lengthen and grow. On the exhale, you bring the elbow and the knee towards each other. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come together. Inhale, grow and stay right here. Bend that knee, reach back. See what's available to reach for. And then open up the hip, open up the heart. Gently bend that knee, release and extend long. Bring those hands, those knees back to the tabletop. Just a couple cat-cows again. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, grow. Exhale, cat. And then flat tabletop right there. Alright, yogis, tuck those toes under in the back. Come on up to your downward facing dog. And then remember in the beginning when we kind of recognized where we were right there. See if you can feel right now that you have so much more space with that heart, shoulders, pressing towards your knees in this wonderful down dog, this upside down letter V shape. Yeah. So let's inhale that right leg to the sky, and then exhale, bend your knee, bring your knee into your nose, and then take that right foot over towards the left wrist and lower down into a pigeon. So front knee is bent like a number 7. We're trying our best to keep our hips square. Open up the heart, and then exhale as you forward fold. Extending those arms long, placing the forehead on the floor, maybe crossing your arms and your forehead goes on top of your forearms. However you can find your way to settle down into your pigeon. Nice little hip stretch here, IT band. It's usually a yogi's favorite pose here. Now that back knee can be bent. Just listen to your body, not forcing anything. And then let's rise up, opening up the heart. We're going to stay on the back leg and we're going to lift up and just thread the front leg through. We just thread the front leg all the way through and then circle the head. Give the hips some movement. Yeah. Just circles, fire hydrants, front and back. All right, back to tabletop, tuck the toes up and go to down dog. Inhale the left leg. Exhale, bend your knee, hinge forward, knee to nose, and then take that foot to the opposite wrist, lowering down into your pigeon. Opening up the heart. Exhale as you forward fold. Find your space. Maybe recognizing that one hip is way tighter than the other. Yeah. It would be nice if we were really all symmetrically balanced, right? With the same range, the same flexibility, and even the same strength. Come to that breath. Allow any challenging areas that you're feeling right now to just take that breath and take the energy and find a sense of release. All right, let's rise up. Opening up the heart. And then this time we're just going to stay seated and we'll swing the back leg, bring that back leg around. And then sort of just have a seat and take your feet wide. And then this time windshield wide with those hips to give them some movement. There we go. All right. So hold your knees still. Bring your feet together. How about giving yourself a hug? Just kind of a nice, well-deserved hug right here. And then let's challenge our core, you guys. Open up the heart. So we're in seated position, preparing for boat pose. Your toes are on the floor, and you're holding onto your knees, or your hands are right back here supporting you as we're going to be lifting our toes. So let's just spice things up a little bit. Yeah. We just got to spice it up just a little. So, your toes are on the floor. You might be holding your knees, you might not. Your hands are behind you, or maybe not. We're opening up the heart. We've got 8 counts, guys. You choose your variation. We're going to put the demand on the core. Hold the right left side of the core together. 4, 3, 2, let go or not. Hold it right there. There's your boat. You could extend that boat. Yes? You could hold it here. Relax those shoulders down. Elbows by your sides. Elbows to the floor. Extend. Down. Tuck. Extend. Down. Tuck. Extend. Down. Woo! Boom. Now hold your legs to the sky. Use momentum. Rock yourself back up to your variation of your boat. Open the heart. Are you ready? 8 counts. Let's do it. 8, 7, 6, 5. So this is a boat. We've got another shape for the core. It's called a canoe or a banana. We're about to go there. Your option is to take those elbows by your side. 4, 3, 2. What's your variation? Down we go. Canoe or elbows here, or maybe bend those knees. Just don't arch that lower back. We're holding it. 8 counts. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rock yourself up. Woo! All the way. Oh my goodness. Let's rotate you guys onto your knees. Right there. And come on back into a child pose. touch our heel without rotating our body and looking back, but just keeping everything square and facing forwards. So maybe the opposite arm reaches up and you just hinge back and touch the toes. The heels, excuse me, you hinge back and touch the heels. And then you hinge back and touch the heels. And then seasoned yogis, you know, your option is to reach back and touch both heels. Otherwise, maybe put your hands in your pocket and just open up the heart. Just right here, opening up the heart, or a fold. Camel to the back, wherever you may be. Pressing those hips forward. And then wherever you are, find your way back up, hinge back for sure, and then let's just kind of wag your tail forwards and backwards. Big demands on your lower back with those camels. So whatever you need right now to just get a nice stretch in that lower back where that big demand is. Yeah. Alright, let's find your way back to a tabletop. And then drop your hips to any side. Swing your legs around. And then let's add a little bit of a twist. Take your right foot and cross it over that left leg. Now options here to keep that left leg straight or to bend it as we open up the heart. On an inhale, the opposite arm reaches for the sky. Exhale, the elbow comes across that knee and you open up the heart. So we're just really, you know, spicing everything up and twisting our spine in all sorts of different directions. You know, sometimes we're so used to being so one-dimensional, and our body going in one direction so much, especially maybe lately. Let's unwind, uncross those legs, and you pick your variation, a straight front leg, or maybe you bend it. We inhale the opposite arm to the sky and cross over, pulling that knee towards you, and then taking the gaze in the other direction. So yeah, maybe we've been doing a lot more sitting lately than we are used to, and so our spine is craving, and our hips are craving movement. Our body is craving a little bit of a squeeze. Always nice to just add a little flow to your day. And then let's unwind. Unwind both those legs. Maybe give them a little bit of a shake. And then we'll just find a little bit of an inversion just with crab today. So take your hands on the floor, and they can be forward, they can be sideways, or some people like to put them backwards. Whatever is available, depending upon your shoulder width, is how wide your hands will go as well. Bending those knees, and then just on an inhale, you press your feet into the floor and lift the hips up to the sky. So maybe you're just here, you lift those hips, or maybe you take your gaze to the back. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come on down. One more time. Let's inhale and lift. Exhale, come on down. Gently and carefully release. Give yourself a hug. And then holding onto your knees, just slowly lower yourself down to the floor. One little vertebrae at a time. Bring your knees in, give yourself a hug, relax your head, neck, and shoulders on the floor, arms down by your side, and extend those legs all the way up to the sky. Point and flex your toes, circle your ankles, and let's just let everything go and give, like you're a 5-year-old having a temper tantrum, and just shake your legs, just move everything. Oh yeah. Holding still, like a dead bug, take your arms up and shake your wrist, shake your fingers, shake your arms. There you go. Awesome. And then hold still. So this inversion, maybe you stay right here, or you add a little bit of a shoulder stand using lifting the hips up, taking your hands to support underneath your back, your lower back, and then open those hips up to the sky. And then you can play it here. We can butterfly, we can bicycle, whatever you feel like. Again, maybe you're just on the floor. Stay here if you're on the floor and just reap the benefits of this inversion, of just a change to your body and all the blood flow and everything. So wherever you are, and then let's bend our knees for plow and bring those knees down towards your shoulders, your chest maybe, or maybe your ears, into a nice squeezing. Even if you're on the floor, just bring those knees in close to your chest and just squeeze everything. And then slowly, one little vertebra at a time, lower yourself down and keep your knees super close to you so that you can reach up for happy baby, grabbing a foot, an ankle, the arch of your foot, and open up your knees with your knees bent, lower back is on the floor, and just kind of little happy baby movements side to side. Find your way back to the center. Release and then pull those knees together. Point the toes to the floor and extend your legs long down your mat. Hold on to your hands, turn them inside out. Reach them behind you on the floor. And do a big giant inhale, like a good morning stretch. Just make yourself grow really tall. And then on the exhale, tuck your knees into your chest, round your back out, give yourself a hug, lift the head, neck, and shoulders up. Inhale back to that good morning stretch. Clasp those hands, turn them inside out, and grow so very tall. And then exhale this time, circle your arms right down by your side, and just stay right there. Our closing posture, yogis, in our yoga practice, our Shavasana. We've just embraced movement, breath and movement together, putting big demands on our spine, on our everything inside of our belly, on our hips, our shoulders, flowing with movement and breath. Now in our Shavasana, we find stillness. We find our breath just taking its natural rhythm and give yourself permission to just find a sense of calm. Even if you have external distractions of noise or whatever may be going on around you, take that challenge and ignore all those distractions. Stay in your space and in your place. This is your time to be still. Release your mind of any busyness, of any clutter, yellow sticky notes, let them all go. You're melting into your mat. Just finding a nice sense of calm. Of course, yogis, staying in your Shavasana as long as you need to. Otherwise, find your way to the top of the mat in any seated position that's available for you, that's comfortable for you. Full lotus, half lotus, butterfly, knees, hands to heart center, hands on top of your knees, palms to the sky, rolling the shoulders up and back. Close down your eyes, and just for a moment, our intention today of gratitude. Have that thought of gratitude for yourself, that you took the time to make a difference in your day for you. See if maybe you can do that every day, just finding a space and a place for movement and a sense of calm. And then blink open your eyes, hands to heart center. Thank you for allowing me to share and flow with you. Have a super awesome rest of your day. Forward fold, namaste. Thank you, yogis. I hope you enjoyed your movement today. Again, I really apologize for those distraction in the beginning with the internet connection or whatever it is that went awry this morning. I'll see you guys on Tuesday at 6:30.